For Ontarians wanting to enjoy a bottle of beer at home or at a bar, their thirst is typically quenched by the beer store. Many consumers believe that the beer store, like LCBO, is government-owned and controlled. In fact, the beer store is a privately owned business controlled by 3 international beer giants.
Molson Canadian, Labatt Blue,
Lehman, notoriously good.
Because the beer store is run by mass-produced commercial beers, it leaves little to no room for microbrewers to sell their beer in the beer store. Owner of a microbrewery in Toronto, Jason Fisher, explains the beer store process.
I could sell my beer to the beer store. I would pay a fee to the other brewers, who they say also pay the fee, but they pay it to themselves, so it's kind of ridiculous. And I would let my competitors, who have no interest in my survival, manage my beer. That doesn't make any sense.
The history of the beer store and microbrewers date back to Prohibition in the 1920s.
Before Prohibition, there were 2,000 or 3,000 breweries across North America, and after Prohibition, there were about 10. So everybody was wiped out. A couple of the big guys stayed. A few started to come along, and they just consolidated. They just bought each other up. It's good for efficiency. It's good on balance books. It's not great for communities or choice or flavors. When you have a competitive battle like that, owning distribution is the magic bullet to being very profitable. So 2 or 3 big breweries got together in Ontario, and after Prohibition convinced the government that they should be the ones who distribute beer in the province.
While the rest of the world changed their beer distribution, such as having publicly owned stores, Ontario has yet to get rid of the beer store monopoly, leaving no room for craft beer brewers to expand. Microbrewers are constantly fighting for an even and fair playing ground.
The goal is equal opportunity to sell our beer without ridiculous layers in the way, like getting rid of the beer store monopoly, like having the LCBO partner with brewers instead of dictate terms, have the government recognize that craft beer in Ontario could be a massive manufacturing industry.
With craft beers not being sold in the beer store, consumers have to go to their local brewery to get their fresh beer.
I feel like this is a real beer, whereas what you get, like your standard, Keys, Canadian, Moosehead, that kind of thing, is a little more, it's store brand.
Microbrewers such as Indie Ale House are slowly but surely getting their beer recognized and are hopeful of breaking down the beer store monopoly.
It kind of sucks. It's a terrible environment right now. Despite that, Ontario brewers are growing at 30–40% clip a year at least. Better and better beer gets made every year. More and more people like our beer. We're coming. I mean, you can get in the way or get out of the way. We're coming.
Stephanie Villella, Emerge News.